It is still possible in Durham region. Right now, I have 4 properties, which is
Nice.
2 are in Durham region. They both are positive cash flowing, and I have one in Toronto, which is also positive cash flowing. Obviously, I'm learning tons of things from you and watching, and what the strategies you're putting it all together.
Is it still possible to cash flow in the GTA? Yes, it is. Make sure to listen right to the end. In today's episode, we're going to be talking with Neeraj, who is part of our action agents. He is in the GTA, he's in the Durham area. He's investor focused. He's been an agent for 8 years, and we're going to learn how he's still cash flowing in the GTA even right now. If you're new to our channel, Mel and I release a video every single week. Today is going to be about the action agents. I am actually a licensed agent with EXP, and we have our own group, the Action Agents. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified. But enough about me. Let's go talk to Neeraj. So welcome to the Action Agents podcast. I want to introduce you to Neeraj, who's part of the Action Agents. So yeah, welcome, Neeraj. Nice having you here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. Truly appreciate that, Dave. It is definitely an honor for me to come on your podcast and chat with you. I mean, this is definitely an honor for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Right back at you. I'm so happy, Mel and I are so happy that you're able to do it. And yeah, you're part of the Action Agents. So, okay, for the audience, right, who are watching you, meeting you for the first time, Neeraj, please share, who you are, where you're located, what you serve, the area you serve. But yeah, tell us more about you.
Okay, so as they mentioned, my name is Neeraj, father of 2. Believe it or not, it's a teenager, 19 years old and 5-year-old, so a big, huge gap. So we started, the reset button, and then we restarted all together, started a family. I mainly work in the Durham region in the GTA, right from Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa. That's what I do. This is where I serve, and I've been here for last 7 years, working in the Ajax neighborhood. And altogether, I've been like 8 years in the business. So that's something about me.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, Mel and I, we've got an age gap with our kids too. So at the time of this recording, it's 18, 15, and 9. So yeah, a gap, right? It's always kind of interesting how the different ages interact with each other. So that's cool. I love that you're in the Durham region and you're serving there as well. And so 8 years. So you're not new to the real estate world. I love it. You've got some experience.
No, I have seen, when I started, obviously the market was like, okay. And after that, just before 2017, all the hype we heard about it when things were happening. And then after that, 2017 and 16-point fair housing plan came in, and people like worried about, hey, what's going to happen now? And after that, the market settled down for like after 18 months or whatever it was, I think. And then after that, market started to pick up again, and now the COVID hits. And so, which means I've seen a couple of ups and downs in it, and I've seen people, how they behave when they respond to the market. Yeah, I've seen a little bit for sure.
And yeah, and then roll right into COVID. Like I agree after that. And then now, okay, so like I'm just thinking, Raj, for people that are in your area or that are interested in investing in that area, how is the market doing? Like what's if you had to give us an update or a briefing on like how is that area doing? What are you seeing? What are you forecasting? Like, yeah, because you're the market expert there, so I would lean on you for that.
Yeah. So if I talk about GTA as a whole, I've been, fortunate enough to watch the track record for last 40 years. If you look at our around market is growing, especially in GTA, like 6.5, 7% year over year, like regardless of ups and downs, which happens is seasonal, which I believe, it should happen. A lot of people say the market should be like very stagnant or had a very steady growth, but unfortunately it doesn't happen like that. Market always goes up and down. We have seen few bumps over the years, which is good. But if you look at a GTA primarily, I think if I'm comparing like the east and the west, in the west end I look at it like Brampton being a very, very aggressive market, and on the east I see like Durham is equally like tagging just behind it. The Brampton market is actually so very steady growth in Durham region. I've seen over the years, especially last 2-3 years. I've seen the GTA, the Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, even including even people are moving up to like a Bowmanville because of the in a GTA, it's a GO train and a GO, it impacts plays an important role. It's at a, highway connectivity plays an important role. So people are moving towards east because the west is not that affordable for them. The price point is still higher in the west. So east is still relatively affordable. I mean, relatively affordable. No, but I still say, drive till you to approve, right? Or you have to qualify. So they have to go a little bit up, but at the same time, we have seen the prices in the East has grown after COVID, like in a double digit, but now it's still in a low fives. We still see the year over year growth is definitely still there. And more people are moving towards East because easy connectivity, though it's a right now, even we are having a conversation in April of 2024. Some of them are having a hybrid model where people need to go and work in office maybe once or twice a week. Rest of the days of a week they can work from home. So it's easy for them. And then other part is the mix is actually very good. So it's a multicultural, not just concentrated only one type people. A lot of people are a diverse background. People are coming. This is a good thing about the Durham region. And then we see a lot of ethnicities, a lot of people, even beats like Asian or South Asian or the people those who are like born and raised here. We see all type of people now. Those who are coming in the Durham region right now. So I think it's pretty good. So the still future holds pretty good promises for the Durham region. Because they will still have a lot of place, I will say, to expand. If you're comparing with in the West, Brampton, Mississauga, their land is not as much as left. People have no option other than going north, which is like Caledon and that neighborhood. But if you look at Durham region, we can see there's like parts in Pickering, parts in Whitby and Oshawa, even Bowmanville, Clarington area. So the connectivity is very good from the highway and from the GO Transit. And there's land available too. So developers are also focusing a lot, like in that area as well. So I think future holds pretty good for Durham region right now.
Okay, and wow, you're obviously very knowledgeable about the area, and you're passionate about it.
Yeah, I know I elaborate a little too much, isn't it?
No, but that's guys. Like again, obviously, if you're like, this is the thing, right? If you're looking for a real estate agent, whether it's a principal residence or, and we'll talk about investments in a bit, right? Being investor focused, which obviously is important to me, right? Being an investor, but like the knowledge you just gave us about that area is awesome. I love the diversity, like you said, that's what Canada is all about, right? Multicultural. There's, I think, oh gosh, I forget. I think it's over 1 million new Canadians came in last year, or over, I forget the stat. So, and I might be butchering that stat. I'm just thinking from conversations I've had. So lots of immigration coming in. I love it. I agree with it. The thing that I heard there, obviously transportation, the GO train, all of that, very important. But the thing that had my ears ringing was from your area, right? The East. So the West, you're saying, it's kind of lifted, but I like that you're saying there's still lots of potential in the East in your market. So whether you're someone who, especially if you're doing the hybrid model, just like Neeraj has said, if you're doing the hybrid model and you're doing 2 days in the city, 3 days at home, and you're thinking affordability and you want to pick a market that makes sense. So even if you're buying a principal residence, if you buy in that area, right, it's not like the other ones that have almost peaked out. It still has that lift capability, which is super cool, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what are you seeing for investors? Like people that are, let's say they want to do multifamily, they want, I don't know if it's short term or if they're flippers, like someone that is literally buying it to make money off of it through as an income property. What are you seeing for them, Neeraj, in your area?
I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of myself. One of the reason, I know there's another reason too. One of the reason is I myself, like from heart, I'm an investor, right? I love and believe in investing in real estate. I agree because this is a way you can actually grow yourself. I mean, other than income. When we look at the investor focus, obviously our discussion should be around that because one who's a coach in investing and one person who's a student in investing, we're having a discussion. No, I mean there is good potential for that. Obviously, because of the density is increasing, especially I'm talking from the population wise, including the city of Whitby and even Oshawa. They have changed a few bylaws, which means they understand from a low
Mhm.
density to a mid to high density population going. So the what's called the garden suites or having a secondary units in the house. If the lot is big enough, the city is allowing them to have it. So city understands it, and that's where giving permits to having a duplexes, triplexes, or maybe fourplexes is actually more. A lot of time, if we say a bigger lots, people want to sever the lots and make it instead of one unit, convert it into a two, detached dwellings. What the city is proposing, some part of the area is if you wanted to merge two and make it a multi-family dwellings. Obviously, there has to be restrictions when it comes to the height and number of units. But if you wanted to do that, city is actually open to do that, and which means it's not just the people are moving here. The city itself is also supporting, and they understand that the people are more people coming here.
Mm.
Uh, Durham College, and then UOIT, which is actually in last few years they've grown a lot, and there are a lot of students are also coming. So there is a demand for housing. Then when we're looking at the other businesses, the Ontario OPG, which is our Ontario Power Generation plant, which is also moved from Pickering to Darlington right now. So again, they are also attracting a lot of professionals in the area as well, because they want people to come and work there. Some of them are seasonal. Some of them gonna remain there forever, right? So they're the permanent employees of the corp. So in nutshell, what I can say is because of the people are coming, cities supporting it. I'm seeing a lot of people are having even a positive cash flow. If you think about from a duplex or a triplex, it is still possible in Durham region. Looking at the price point is still reasonable. Cities supporting it and to create a secondary units or maybe having a triplexes, maybe up in they have a upper unit could be converted one unit and the basement has a separate unit, and then if the lot is still big enough, they can actually have a garden suite at the back as well. So that could be like a three units out of one dwelling. So having said that, I mean, people, if they work strategically, I know a lot of people still talk about, as we was talking in April, a lot of discussion regarding interest rates and all that, affordability and all that, and mortgage payments has gone up. But at the same time, if somebody put a right effort to it, I still think there is a positive cash flow. Even after all that, hyped up interest rates and everything is still possible. So I see the potential is still there.
I love that you just because we talk to people all the time. They say, Dave, I can't cash flow in the GTA. It's not possible. That's a thing of the past. What I like is you're actually extending an olive branch and saying there is still a way of cash flowing in the GTA. It's just you need to pick where in the GTA you're doing it. And so I love that if someone picks that market that they're relatively cheaper than the other areas as well. I love that the city is on board because you'll hear so many times, right, where sometimes the municipality, the city, the county, depending where you're investing, they end up being a roadblock. They're actually a barrier to you doing your plan and providing housing, which sometimes you might think, well, Dave, isn't that the opposite of what they want to do? It's just they're too cumbersome sometimes. I love
True.
that that's the opposite of where you are, right? That's so you got the city on your side. There's a win. In the path of progress, government agencies are moving to those areas, right? Like you just said, jobs are going there, prices are going to go up. Like that's really cool. I like that you gave us the scoop on that. Secrets out, Neeraj. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls there. The GTA people are gonna want to invest there. That's awesome.
That's okay. I kept my time block open. I can receive all the calls.
Okay, so that's awesome about that area. Um, you had mentioned something as well I want to touch on. Yeah, the garden suites. The province is really trying to, and I'm not political here, but I know there was an announcement a while ago about if you have a particular zoning that they don't have to go through as much red tape. So that's really cool about that area. So what about you, Niraj? Like, what is your what's cooking with you with your investments and your portfolio? How's that looking?
Well, I'm good you ask because at end of the day, see, as I said, I'm also investor, my like from heart as well. So
Hey, stop the video for a second. I wanted to talk to you about a turnkey income property provider that Mel and I have purchased properties for. Now listen up. If you are looking for a income property, then you don't have the time for it. I have a solution for you that I have invested in myself. They will find the property for you, they will renovate it for you, they will give you a turnkey product, and they will get tenants in there for you after screening it and manage the property. Does this sound too good to be true? It is not. Click the link below, go check out this exclusive list, find your next turnkey income property, and book your free call with them so they can go through all the benefits of what they provide. And you'll be investing in properties just like Mel and I. Okay, enough excitement about this. Let's get back to the episode.
I right now I have four properties, which is
Nice.
and I have it. Out of them, obviously, one is my primary residence where I am, and then three are rented out, and all of them, out of that, two are in Durham region. They both are positive cash flowing, and I have
Nice.
one in Toronto, which is also positive cash flowing. So, in
Nice.
other words, even after that, the price, interest rates has like obviously, so it just kind of, dipped a little bit into my cash flow, but I'm still cash flowing on it, and I still. A couple of properties I bought it like I think 3 years ago or 2 years ago. It's a pre-con. It's like still not there yet. So, but again, I invested it. I think it's probably gonna come in a couple of years, which is actually not in Toronto, but it's outside. They are in a wine country, so
Oh, cool.
I invested there. End of the day, one of my thing is this like obviously looking to scale, but I want
Mhm.
to say thank you to you because the reason I'm being connected with you because I was following you. Believe it or not, I'm following you for over 3 years.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Well,
uh,
thank you.
yeah, I'm following you for 3 years, but actually I spoke with you last like couple of months ago, few months, like 4 months ago, 5 months ago,
Yeah.
something like that. But now I'm looking to, what is alternative ways to scale up, to increase my investment portfolio. And obviously I'm learning tons of things from you and watching and what the strategies you're putting it all together. And I think this is if somebody wants to scale up, definitely there's ways to do that.
Mhm.
For me, yeah, I'm a long-term student, and I'm gonna be a long-term student for real estate investing.
So, super like if you're listening to this, Neeraj does not live in wine country yet. He's still investing there, right? You are able to do this outside of just your backyard. Let Neeraj be an example for that as well. Um, Something you mentioned, and Neeraj, I remember our first conversation, and I'll share this because it's kind of a cool story when you and I first chatted. So, uh, oh gosh, I've been an agent now for 2 years, I believe. I never thought I'd be a real estate agent. I decided, I heard about EXP years ago, and then anyway, once it was explained to me properly, I said I'm getting my license and I'm joining EXP Realty, and then I kind of started shouting it out to the world. And Niraj, when I first talked to you, I remember you saying, Dave, some of the worlds had collided, and it was the right time to join. But when I talked to Niraj, he said, Dave, I've been following you for a while, right? Because I like your investor focused stuff. You and Mal are real estate investors, and I like the creative financing. And then he said, who I joined, excuse me, Mike Sherrard from Wolfpack. I've been following him for the real estate agent side of things. And then Neeraj was saying that once he realized, because I joined Wolfpack and then I created our own thing, the Action Agents, right? Once you saw that Mike and I were working together, you're like, oh my gosh, two people that I know and I've been kind of following. So anyway, the real estate world, the real estate agent world are very small worlds. So it's kind of funny how all those worlds collided. But yeah, I'm super glad that you joined when you did.
No, that is true because actually I was following Mike Short at one on the one end, and then I was learning from all the social media, the courses he runs and
Mhm.
training he does, like it beats on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, or what all the social channels. But on the other hand, there was Mel and Dave, those who are they're training people or teaching everybody to investor focus, being an investor focused realtor, but at the same time being an investor and teaching people how to
Mhm.
invest. And when I looked at it, I also say because one thing I believe is this: for real to be anybody to be successful in real estate, two things are important. Number one is a cash flow. Number two is an equity. Obviously, Mike Shore is teaching, especially the realtors, how to scale up and have increase your production, have more business. That is teaching them to solve a cash flow problem, right? And on the other hand, you are teaching how to build up an equity in a long term, and this is a perfect combination to become successful. And when I saw you guys, and obviously, it was like they are together, like why? Like how? Like and like Mike being in like Calgary, you're here in Ontario, like North Ontario, and I said like, okay, well there gotta be something, and then I was like, my eyes were like, I shut off everything and I started gonna watch this video first because you guys are on the YouTube, and it was funny, and I could not hold myself. Though I was like following you for a long time and Mike as well. But when I saw you guys together, I said, okay, I can't wait. So I need to jump on and right away call. It was
Yeah, and I still remember you and I, Mel and I were actually in Philadelphia. We were going to a Luke Combs concert, and I remember walking through the mall, and you and I were chatting. So that was pretty cool. And we'll talk in a little bit as well about if ever you're interested and you're like, hey, I like that. I want to, maybe join Neeraj. We'll talk about that in a second. But okay, as a real estate agent, Neeraj, okay, so now you have people that come to you that want to buy their principal residences, right? You're an expert in that. Now that you have four properties, you have the coaching and training as well on how to do it. Like, in my opinion, you have just opened up your market as a real estate agent, right? Let's talk about the business side of things. Now that you're investor focused as well, I'm not saying you weren't before, but now I'm sure that obviously the training and coaching help. Like, I feel like you have a lot more tools in your tool belt as an agent when you can service principal residence people that want to do flips, right? Like you were just saying, adding units and flipping, or multifamily residential people. Like, to me, I feel like you're such a well-rounded agent because you have all those different tools in your toolbox.
definitely right now, if I say talk about tools, I understand a lot of things. As I said, I'm a lifelong student of real estate and I'm continue to learn. When like by coming into your organization, like you're part of your team, there are a lot more things I understand when it comes to analyzing properties, when to analyzing, like dissecting each and everything and understanding what am I doing, why am I doing this, and what is my goal, what is my target. But at the same time, you're also teaching to go into the basics of like planning first. A lot of people, I good old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So obviously it start right from there. People can start thinking, this is what I wanted to do. A matter of fact, this morning I was speaking with somebody, and this gentleman I had a conversation with him, and he was saying, oh yeah, I was last year, I was not sure, but I'm not sure if I bought my one property, I have the money to buy it. And I said, well, let me say it this way, because in a couple of hours I'm going to speak with somebody who is teaching how to build up your investment portfolio using other people's money. I mean, OPM is a system. That's what he's training to do that. And I said most people got stuck, including myself, like before even coming and start working with you, or start before following you, because I've been into real estate for 8 years. I thought buy the first property, wait it for a couple of years. When the equity builds up, you go back to the bank, you refinance it, and then you go back and say, I wanted to buy another one. And the bank says, okay, this is your ratios look like, TDS, GDS ratios look like, okay, hence we can approve you for this X amount of dollars. And then you search for a property which meets that criteria, and then you're trying to upgrade it, like, maybe force appreciation on a property, try to make it cash flow positive. And then you go back to the bank and I say, okay, give me more money so that I want to buy a third property. And by the time it's like a third property, like you're begging the bank to give you money, and they say, oh, sorry, you're too risky right now, we can't give you the money, we can't put all the eggs in one basket, thank you very much. So hence you start looking to B lender and alternative lenders, and then people got stuck into, okay, now a B lender, oh, it's going to charge me more, right? I'd be paying a little bit extra money, and they got so stuck on 1% more, they actually forget that real estate, especially in GTA, is going to grow 6 to 7%.
Yeah.
And they're so focused on 1% and so-called they are very calculative. Now, I don't want to say that, but to me, if I start thinking like that, I will be penny wise, pound foolish, because I don't want to give it a 1% more in order to make 7%. I don't want to do that. So having said that, so all these tools to analyze properties, to having different avenues, or it's called the creative financing, what you teach, it is helping people to scale up faster, and obviously not just in one province. Now it's again across Canada, across
Mhm.
border, right? And maybe in multiple countries, it is possibility. And then, matter of fact, the more I follow you, I'm now start thinking about, hey, you know what? Because I know in April, the capital gains is also another hot topic right now. A lot of people are going to talk about it, but I think across the border now, a lot of things become a little bit more attractive. It's going to become people, those who wants to invest. So again, the good thing is through EXP we have access to the south of the border. We have access there, and with you we have access to multiple projects even out there to invest in. And then again, we can still use all these tools which are available via you and with through EXP to definitely expand our portfolio.
Yeah. And Neeraj, what's funny, my next question was going to be, why did you join EXP? Why did you join Action Agents, right? You just answered it, which I love, right? Great minds think alike. Something I want to add to that. So, Neeraj, thank you so much for all the kind words. I appreciate it. Again, you're putting in the hard work, so kudos to you too. The thing I want to mention is everything that Neeraj just talked about, right? The coaching and the mentoring, the weekly lives, all the videos, all the documents. If ever you are interested in joining EXP or joining us, right? Again, reach out to Neeraj. If ever you're like, hey, Neeraj, I'm in that area and I'm interested, like whatever it is, like reach out to Neeraj. Or again, if you're looking to purchase, right? Obviously, as well, Neeraj is your guy with principal residence or income properties. But if you're, I'm talking strictly on the real estate agent side of things. If you're at a brokerage right now and you're like, I'm not really getting that, or, I want to start building my own portfolio, right? Like Neeraj is, like we are, I want to start building income properties. I just don't know how, or like everyone else, you got to know what the bank, they said, no, you've got one, two, three. My case was five, right? They said no to me after five. Head office said no. And you want to break through that creative financing. Again, reach out to Neeraj, and again, talk about the possibility of joining EXP right through him. And the cool thing is you get everything. You get all the coaching and mentoring that Mel and I offer. So again, do not be shy to reach out. But yeah, Neeraj, you answered my question as to, hey, I wonder why you wanted to switch over. And EXP is an absolute powerhouse. Well, there's so much training, there's so much content, the workplace group. Like I was literally, you can chat to different countries, different states, different provinces. Like it is, yeah, it's an absolute, and it's all cloud based, right? So it's really, really cool. Fastest growing brokerage.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a couple more things, Dave, into it. I know,
Yeah, 100%.
obviously, the joined EXP, and I'll tell you, like, for me, like, I came to know EXP after I had a conversation with you and Mike. So for
Mm.
me to come, and obviously primary reason were you guys were both. And then when I look at the EXP, and obviously EXP, as you said, it's a great support. I just wanted to give you one personal testimony because I just
Mm.
recently hired my VA, like my virtual assistant. Thank you. Uh, and then I was like looking at it. I said, like, what should I do? And then I posted in a Wolfpack group. I just posted a group because I'm looking to hire a VA. Which company to approach and to find it. And then obviously a couple of companies came to me, but one of this gentleman who I don't know, he is in Arizona, and he DM'd me. He says, and he's not part of Action Agent, he's part of like Wolfpack.
I love
And
it.
then he sent me. Again, I'm saying it's a perk of joining, when we
Mhm.
join a bigger group, it's how we get benefited from being part of the Action Agents, being part of the Wolfpack. This gentleman DM me, Neeraj, I know somebody, and who is actually my VA. She's working 6 hours and she's looking for more work. I said, are you looking to hire full time or a part time? I said, I am like, my preference will be a full time, but if it can start something with part time, I'm okay with that too. Well, having said that, he connected me with his VA, which is obviously overseas. She's in Philippines. Amazing girl. She's very good. And yes, I mean, I don't have to pay a company. I know there's companies you have to pay them so that you can take their services. And the funny part is some of the companies I know do it's an ongoing payment you have to do to have a VA. Now for this one, it's a direct hire, no company involved, and she gave me, I mean, because she came from a good reference, she gave me a good deal on the price, and she's doing pretty good. She's doing
That's
very
awesome.
good. She's working for like 2 weeks right now. She start taking care of the on my website and SEO on my website. She started working on the transaction coordination. She started already working on the social media stuff for me. I know she's doing
Perfect.
a lot on it. But she comes here for 4 hours, and I asked her, I said, if you will be open to more hours. I'm just saying, it's a support. Now, that gentleman who recommended her to me has no vested interest whatsoever in helping me whatsoever. But it's a group, it's a camaraderie, it's a
Hmm.
team, I think, which is support. And then whenever I need anything, I've seen even people, I've a few people, a couple of people in my team as well, like with as realtors, and they also post stuff and they get an immediate response, not only from the brokers, which we have multiple brokers on the EXP to support, but
Hmm.
the other realtors, like their peers, those who are in their part of the EXP, so they're getting help from them, and that's amazing. I mean, that's definitely commendable.
It is amazing. I know it's more collaborative than I thought when I came. It's even more like in a good way. Like it's more collaborative than I thought it was going to be. And I agree. The wolf pack is awesome. Mike and I have a good relationship. The really cool thing is, and if you're thinking about this and you're thinking, because I know people, I talk to them, they're like, hey, I'm thinking wolf pack. There's a lady out in California actually. She joined the action just because she's like, wait a minute, if I join, someone directly through the Wolfpack, I get what they offer. But if I join you, I get all of your coaching and mentoring. Plus, I get the Wolfpack. She's like, why wouldn't I join through you? I'm like, exactly. Same with Neeraj. If you join through Neeraj,
True.
you get every.
Absolutely
Like,
true. Yeah.
so anyway, if you're thinking about it, book a call and talk to us. And yeah, there's a lot of win-wins. If your upline, again, I know I'm speaking directly to EXP. If your upline is very powerful, it's just going to help you so much more. Just like Neeraj's example, right? A VA. We have multiple. I think we have like 10 or 12 VAs now: Philippines, Mexico, Brazil, Portugal. Forgetting countries now. I'm going to get in trouble. But yeah, we have VAs from all over the place. They're absolutely amazing part of your team. But that's just one example.
Yeah.
Neeraj, amazing. Anything for our listeners and Neeraj that are getting to know you? Any last tidbit of advice or knowledge that you want to leave with them? Or
Um, since we are talking about being an investor focus, a lot of people start to think about timing the market. I mean, this is a big one. I hear from people. See, I believe in, so if somebody asks me, Neeraj, what do you do? What's your specialty gonna be? So I think it's this way. I take a brand new guy who's a first time home buyer, and right from the get go, I start to train them. I say, listen, your goal is like anyone can become a multi-millionaire in real estate, but just not with one property.
mm,
You have to have multiple properties. So whenever you buy your first property, start thinking, how can I buy the second one and when? It's not timing the market, it's time in the market. So if you're sitting outside, you cannot learn swimming. If you sit on the in the swimming pool, I mean, you can read about it, you can attend a podcast about it, you can take a coaching about it, but if you don't jump in, you never learn swimming. That's gonna not happen. Similarly with the investment side as well. If you want to start investing, start building a portfolio, your goal is to buy the property first. Now, when you say buy the property first, that doesn't mean you can buy randomly anything, but have a plan. What am I going to buy? Where am I going to buy it? Because end of the day, if from the first property, if you're thinking about how's my income and how's my savings, everything is banking on it, then obviously you're missing a one big part. It's called equity. Equity is something which is gonna build up when you're sleeping, when you're working. It's a time thing. It's a matter of time. It's gonna grow. It's gonna build. So your goal is to utilize it. So I recommend, drive till you qualify, get a property. If you don't want to live there, that's okay. Release it out, rent it out the property, so let somebody else pay the mortgage for you. And the property will appreciate, and then you will be able to utilize that equity and then use the creative financing. And obviously, once your equity is there, a creative financing also becomes a little bit more handy because now you have a little bit of more fortitude, a little bit more appetite that, hey, I can grow, I can go a little bit more. So that will do, and let this magic happen. And then no time you'll start thinking, oh my God, 2, 3, 4 years down the road, I say, oh my God, I didn't know that it is possible that I can own two properties. I was like totally, if somebody would have never told me to do that, I would have still be sitting on the sideline and thinking,
Mhm.
let all the lights be green and all the ducks be in a row, then I will jump, and which never happens. So that's my 2 cents.
Love it. It's so true. And yeah, it's time in the market. There'll never be a perfect time either. I love that you just said to wait for all there's never a perfect time. And
No.
the only thing that matters, like Neeraj just said, is execution and action, right? You can talk, you can watch podcasts all you want until you take action. Nothing else really matters, right? Because that's the needle mover. And that's why we named our group the Action Agents, because it's all about people like Neeraj taking action. Amazing tidbit of info. I love that you said that, especially someone that's literally in the market and seeing it go up, time in the market. Neeraj, again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of listeners, whether it's principal residences or people, real estate investors that want to buy income properties through you. How do they reach out to you? How do they get in contact with you, my friend?
Instagram handles Neeraj Khanna Homes. That's a good way to get in touch. If somebody's still like an email, I'm also okay for that. So because I'm pretty much all active all day long. So info@neerajkhannahomes.com. That's my email address. So yeah, love to receive all those phone calls and messages and all the inquiries.
Yeah, and guy, we'll put it in the show notes, so don't worry about that. If it went too quick or anything, it'll be in the show notes. So just make sure to check below. Um, but Neeraj, on behalf of the listeners, thank you so much for coming on, and for Mel and I, right, and the Action Agents, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Your info, your insight on the market. Oh my gosh, you gave us such amazing info. It was so valuable. I'm sure you'll have a lot of people reaching out to you, and yeah, appreciate you being part of the group, and appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you very much, Dave. So thank you for being the leader of the organization, and thank you for leading by right example. Totally appreciate that, and we'll try to. I mean, not only me, on behalf of all my team members, we'll try to duplicate as much as you possible we can. I mean, it may or may not be possible, but thank you very much for leading by example. Totally appreciate, and thank you for inviting me here as well.
Oh, thank you for the kind words. Awesome. Thanks, Neeraj.
Thank you, Dave. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Too. Well, that was an awesome conversation with Neeraj. Always a pleasure speaking with him. He truly is investor focused, and he can truly help you in the GTA, right, the Durham area. So do not hesitate to reach out. Also, if ever you're interested in joining the Action Agents, make sure that you let us know, reach out to us. We can tell you more about it and all the benefits you get from it. Hey, if you like this video and want to see more just like this, make sure to click on this. I'm Dave, and I'll see you in the next one.